Spend a few moments on Jay Stu. If you're new to the program, Jason Stewart books the show. He screens out the telephone calls, and he's now been with us a total of 7 years. Jay Stu is in year number 7. There has not been a lot of turnover in the XR4TI crew. Travis Rogers has produced this show 11 years. I've only had 2 radio producers in my entire career, really. 2. Jay Stu is in year number 7. So the XR4TI crew is strong. It's rock solid. Jay Stu has been able to parlay his role as show contributor into numerous acting roles. Now, much has been made of the Godfather, Stan Brooks. Stan Brooks is the guy that has gotten Jay Stu in a couple of movies. He actually acted on his behalf as an agent for his role in According to Jim. But to be truthful, and Jay Stu would not be where he is without the Godfather, Stan Brooks. But the guy that really got the whole thing rolling, for instance, there wouldn't be a Stan Brooks if not for this guy. Roger Lodge was the guy that gave Jay Stu his break. Roger Lodge was the one who came up with the idea to put Jay Stu on TV for the very first time. Roger Lodge, of course, is an executive and host of the TV show Blind Date. And he was the one that said, we got to get Jay Stu in here. So Roger got Jay Stu on that TV show, and that's how the whole thing started. Who will ever forget Jay Stu brawling with that woman from the 909?
Give 3 reasons why a man gets married.
Probably first and foremost is security. Number 2 is to have a life partner. And number 3 is somebody to get you your beer. And that's a close third, the second one.
Jay Stu telling his date on Blind Date that you get married, among other reasons, so you'll have somebody to get you your beer. Can't quite figure out why it didn't work out between the two of them. But then again, Jay Stu was like shot out of a cannon. Once he hit that show, it was on. Then Stan Brooks got involved. Also, never forget, during that episode of Blind Date, Jay Stu presented her with a picture of himself. He also broke out a giant roll of bills and counted his money in front of her. So he counted his money in front of her. He gave her a picture of himself and said that one of the reasons a man gets married is to have somebody bring them beer. He shows up at her door. She opens it up. She's looking him up and down, and he says, let me make sure I've got enough money. And he starts peeling out the ones. So that was Jay Stu. That's how the whole thing started. Stan Brooks then got involved because Stan Brooks is a vet, and he recognizes talent. He got Jay Stu his first acting gig on whatever they ended up calling that movie. It started off like it's the story of Heidi Fleiss going down on Meadow Soprano or Heidi Fleiss, or they had to clean it up for obvious reasons. Anyway, these are the first words that Jay Stu ever uttered in a starring role in a movie.
Yvonne, just a couple, please.
I mean, the guy delivered it perfectly. Jay Stu, as a member of the paparazzi in the movie Going Down on Meadow Soprano, uttered a perfect line. I mean, that's not easy. In his very first movie role, this came out.
Yvonne, just a couple, please.
He had to learn it, he had to memorize it, and he had to deliver it, and he did. Home run. We then had his co-star, Jamie Linda Scala, on the program. She's hot, she's talented, and most of all, she respected Jay Stu and admitted as much on this show, saying that she's so much better for having spent time with him on screen. How rewarding was it to star alongside our Jason Stewart, who played the role of paparazzi in the movie? I mean, what did you learn from Jason Stewart?
It was really exciting. He was probably one of the reasons why I took the role after I found out he was cast. We talked a lot about, methods and what he kind of goes through to prepare for a role, and he gave me a lot of coaching, and he helped me a lot, especially in some of my difficult scenes. He was kind of, my guardian angel on set there.
She is cool. Jamie Linda Scala rocks. And you can tell, I mean, she was sincere. Working with Jason Stewart meant a lot to her. Then Jay Stu was on to his second starring role in a movie, this time with Lou Diamond Phillips in Murder at the Presidio. Talk about chops.
What do you got?
Man, you know, good stuff.
Man, you always say that. Open her up.
What are you boys doing off base?
Who the hell's that?
I certainly hope you signed out your vehicle properly.
Jay Stu dead. Jay Stu shot on camera. That movie exploded at the box office or on the USA Network. Whatever. Lou Diamond Phillips came in studio, and he talked about what it was like and how much it meant to him to work alongside Jay Stu. You've worked with some of the biggest names in the business.
Oh, yeah.
Denzel,
Yeah.
Harrison,
Yeah.
Kiefer Sutherland,
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg, and Jay Stu.
Yeah.
How did it all compare, Jay Stu versus working with those guys?
I called Harrison first, and I said, "Listen, I'm working with Jay Stu. I don't know what to do, man. I'm kind of scared spitless here." And Harrison went, "What? Jay Stu? Really?" He's done some okay films, Harrison Ford, but he's never worked with Jay Stu. And he said, "Listen, kid, just tighten up. Do the best you can. I mean, people won't expect you to actually be able to compete with him. Try not to show them that you're that nervous, and maybe it'll come off."
LDP coming up big, too. Then there's Stan Brooks. Stan Brooks, again, is the guy who's made this happen for Jay Stu. He's his godfather. He puts him in movies. He represented him for his role in According to Jim. Stan Brooks came on the program. He has numerous times, but he came on and told the story about Jay Stu and the fact that he actually might have to shave his dome. You asked him to shave his head for the role? True or not true?
This is true. The day before we shot his scene, which involves a big stunt, I had to get a stuntman to double Jay Stu because we didn't want to really kill him. The guy comes to me and says, "I hate to tell you this, but the guy didn't make the flight, and we don't have somebody that doubles Jay Stu. The only guy I have has a shaved head. Can you ask your friend if he'll shave his head?" I go, "No." He goes, "We have no solution. We have to shoot the scene tomorrow. We have no guy." So I go, "Oh, great." So I walk up to Jason, make small talk, and then go, "How would you feel about shaving your head for the movie? It's, kind of a movie experience." He looks at me and he goes, "Dude, you so don't want to do that. You think the moles are bad on my face? If you shave my head, no one will watch USA Network again."
He's got a bad melon. But it just goes to show you, there is no match for Jay Stu.
Exactly.
There really isn't.
There really isn't.
That's the godfather, Stan Brooks. And don't forget, Stan's probably still bent about Thor. Remember when they had that screening of the movie, Murder at the Presidio, and Thor opened up the show, the band, and they wouldn't get off the set or the stage, and they couldn't screen the movie, and Stan was getting more and more pissed? He's still talking about, quote, "the thorn in my side." All right, so in order to do our next conversation justice, I felt like I had to reset that and set it up for those of you who had not heard the program. Or maybe